Hi, and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's quick review for Phillip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. This video is a part of a series of videos where I give a quick, spoiler-free review of a show currently airing. These videos are aimed more at those who haven't seen the show, but those who have will know more of what I'm talking about. In this video, I'll cover Phillip K. Dick's Electric Dreams Season 1. So Phillip K. Dick's Electric Dreams is the new science fiction anthology series that is a collaboration between UK's Channel 4 and Amazon Prime. Each episode is based off of a short story from the noted science fiction author Phillip K. Dick, who is well known to the literary world as a psychedelic science fiction writer from the 50s and 60s, and known to the film world as writing the books that would inspire such films like Blade Runner, Total Recall, Minority Report, and much more. The show is produced by Bryan Cranston and Ronald D. Moore. Cranston, of course, is an Academy Award-nominated actor known mostly for his role as Walter White on Breaking Bad, and Moore is a writer who made a name for himself on Star Trek The Next Generation, as he's noted for writing a lot of episodes that are fan favorites, and he went on to become an executive producer on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where he continued to do quality work and would eventually go on to be one of the main showrunners behind the reimagining of Battlestar Galactica. They describe this show as not a show, but a series of short films, as every episode has different writers and directors, and basically the producers were going to the writers and asking them if there was a Phillip K. Dick short story they'd like to adapt. Therefore, every episode has a very different and distinct feel to it, even more so than most other anthology series like Black Mirror. And speaking of Black Mirror, the inevitable comparisons to that show will likely be commonplace, as although I have no doubt all of the creative minds behind this show were not thinking of Black Mirror at all and were just doing their own idea of adapting the works of a famous sci-fi author. However, I also have no doubt that the studio and networks intention in financing and broadcasting the show was to compete with Black Mirror, as Channel 4 lost the rights to Black Mirror to Netflix, so it makes sense they'd be looking for a replacement, and Amazon Prime would of course be looking to compete with Netflix. Another similarity, at least to the two most recent seasons of Black Mirror, is the British and American combo feel to each season, as some episodes have more British actors and settings and some episodes are more American. But that being said, Electric Dreams is actually very different from Black Mirror and has a very different feel, so I would say it's completely inaccurate to describe it as a ripoff. However, I would say overall, Electric Dreams lacks a high quality in writing and production value and overall quality that Black Mirror has, that Electric Dreams does not. Part of the drawback is each episode is adapted from source material that's over half a century old. Some episodes do a better job at updating the material and making it more relevant than others. But overall, I was always lukewarm on Phillip K. Dick as a writer. When people think of him, they often think of Blade Runner or Total Recall, and I would call that an inaccurate description, at least based on the works of his that I read, and say the film that most accurately represents his writing style is Richard Linklater's A Scanner Darkly. So, in other words, like weird, very trippy, abstract, and psychedelic. Electric Dreams runs the spectrum of the Phillip K. Dick interpretations, as some episodes feel more like Blade Runner or Minority Report, and some are closer to his absurdist writing style, while others focus more on the science fiction aspects of his writing style. The show is very hit or miss, as I would say overall the quality of writing only halfway makes it, and many episodes fumble their endings, or another aspect of the story that had a lot of potential to be great, but it just didn't quite make it. The first season features 10 episodes, 4 of which I didn't much care for, 2 that I loved for the social commentary it made but thought that the stories were very lacking and not as impressive, 3 that I thought were good episodes of TV but not great, and 1 truly great episode that I absolutely loved. Now, the episode most people seem to be pointing to as the best episode is an episode with Anna Paquin and Terrence Howard about Paquin playing a woman in the future who plays a virtual reality game where she's Terrence Howard in our present times. But then things become really mind-twisting when the question is brought up, which reality is real. And while I love the concept of this episode and the acting was great, the story felt a bit rushed and I didn't really identify with the characters as much as I should. So I'd say this episode was good but not great. Also, I feel this episode is the one that most resembles Black Mirror, and comparing the two, you can see how this one doesn't just quite hold up. The episode I would point to as the best of the series is the one that really blew me away is an episode called Human Is, which stars Bryan Cranston, Essie Davis, and Liam Cunningham, and it's set in a distant future on a human colony on another planet where they're at war with an alien species, and Cranston plays a hardened general who comes back from the war a changed man. I've heard some complain this episode was boring, and it was indeed slow paced, but I personally think it's a great kind of slow pace, and this is an amazing character study and features some of the best acting that I've ever seen on any screen in years. It was really an actor's episode, and the chemistry between Cranston and Davis was simply amazing, and some may complain that the ending was predictable, but to me that didn't at all diminish the power of the ending, which I actually felt very meaningful and well played. But in addition to these episodes, we also get other episodes, such as a bizarre one with Steve Buscemi, which reminded me a lot of the work of the Coen brothers or Charlie Kaufman, and another episode that's a slow-paced space opera about an old woman trying to return to Earth, which many believe doesn't exist. But if you're looking for something more action-packed, we also got a post-apocalyptic episode about the last band of humans trying to destroy an automated factory that's killing them all, a murder mystery involving psychics, a dystopian future about a teenager trying to assimilate into a society preoccupied with terrorism, and a story of a boy's father who's taken over by aliens. So a very wide variety of stories and tones. So my rating for a Phillip K. Dick's Electric Dreams out of 10 is a 7, very good. There's a lot of interesting concepts here. Most of them are held back by flawed endings or rushed through the narrative, but a few episodes like Human Is and Autofact do succeed in telling a great story. But even through the whole season, you have some amazing performances, thought-provoking commentary, amazing visuals, and intriguing sci-fi and absurdist scenarios that make this show worth watching even if it doesn't always hit its mark. So as for the question of will I watch the next season, that would be a big yes, assuming that there is a next season, which I really hope there will be. And further, I hope they work through some of the kinks in the first season, because I think the show has a lot of potential. So that's it for my quick review for Phillip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. Be sure to check out my channel for many more spoiler-free quick reviews of shows currently airing, as well as I do videos on shows like Star Trek, Game of Thrones, The Expanse, Discovery, Black Mirror, and more. So be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all of that, and thanks a lot for watching.